Welcome to your next session of your course. In this session, I'm going to be talking firstly about natural rhythms and then secondly about the 5-element theory. When we're talking about natural nutrition, we're talking about creating freedom and movement, and we need to be able to define what is it that creates this freedom and movement. In a previous session, we've talked about hydration and dehydration and how our body records all of its messages on the water component of the body, that it's acting like a cradle to hold these messages. But in this session, I'm going to be looking at what is influencing us as a living being here on planet Earth. The Mayans always used to say, if you wish to be well and without disease, you need to prepare your body so that it will dance and respond to all of these natural rhythms. The first rhythm that I want to talk about is our 24-hour day-night cycle. In the daytime, we have the very strong charge and light of the sun. And during that phase, our sodium and our calcium, our 2 of the 4 main electrolytes, moves inside the cell, pushing out potassium and magnesium. And then the other half of our 24-hour cycle is where we're lying down, it's dark, and the moon is dominant. And when the moon is dominant, it has this relationship with sodium. And so it's gently pulling the sodium with its partner calcium back out of the cell where it's accumulated, allowing magnesium to push potassium back in. And they work very much together. And when the in and out, so the in of the sodium and calcium and out of the potassium and magnesium, is then returned back to the normal place, we've completed that 24-hour cycle. So the normal resting place for sodium and calcium is outside of the cell, and the potassium and magnesium is inside the cell. This is an incredibly important rhythm. And we're going to see later some shorter scale rhythms. But this is our 24-hour rhythm, looking at our day and our night. And what we find is that this isn't completed. There is a physical manifestation inside each of our cells of dis-ease, or you could call it disharmony, with this natural cycle. So disharmony with this day-night cycle will be registered in our cell. That disharmony registered as a change of conditions inside the cell, which is our first manifestation of dis-ease in our being. Then we can move on from the 24-hour day-night cycle and look at the lunar cycle. And clearly this is one full lunar month, just over 28 days, and it corresponds, or should, to a woman's menstrual cycle. And there are very distinct times during this lunar cycle. You have firstly the waxing moon,